Let's get this thing started. Boston has officially entered the chat. Travis Thomas here with my main man, George Balekji. What a night last night in Boston sports. Women's hockey team advanced to the final. How about the men's hockey team staying alive? Red Sox walking off. I mean, we got all the business. And then, of course, tonight, the Celtics will end their series as well. I'm going to speak that into existence, my friend.
I'm fine with it. The Cavs suck. They're banged up. They got no one left. The Celtics are clearly the best team in the NBA. So, but yeah, what a night. PWHL Boston. I mean, the premier season of that league. Comeback win 3-2, advance to the final. Bees stay alive against the Panthers, and Romy Gonzalez, bottom 12th for the Red Sox. Nice single to walk it off.
Now, of course, this show's interactive. We ask you to send us your tweets, and we ask you to call us. Hit that. Boston has entered the chat. Hotline bling, 617-790-0928. I mean, listen, we got all the stories here on Boston has entered the chat. Our reactions, fallout, and emotions surrounding the Bees' big win. But wait, there's more. We hear from you, too, about the Bruins surviving and staying alive in the series. Hit us up on that chat number. Tweet us as well. Plus, we'll get you ready for tonight's Celtics game, as we mentioned, but with a little game of buy or sell, of course. And tonight is also the NFL schedule release. So, of course, we're talking pigskin. But first, as we begin, every Boston has entered the chat. We have got to get something off of our chest. Giorgio Armani, do the honors tonight.
Hey, hand up. I was someone that called on Charlie McAvoy time and time again that he has to be one of the Bruins' best players.
Yes, you did.
For them to win games. Did you guys know he didn't have a single shot on goal in the entire Panthers-Bruins series until last night? 6 shots, game-winning goal, over 23 minutes in the time on ice, played 33 shifts, the most on the team. But laying out the hits, having an assist and a goal, and that tic-tac goal by him, Trent Frederick, Charlie Coyle leading to him, just taking advantage of Sergei Bobrovsky there for the game winner. Just shout out to Charlie McAvoy. Everyone's on his case, including me. And when Jim Montgomery's pressed on him, he says he's playing some of the most important hockey. That guy comes out and plays the best game of this playoff so far for him in a crucial game for the Bruins to keep their season alive and one game closer to potentially having their captain back. And Charlie McAvoy, last night, his first postseason goal since 2021.
Wow.
Could not have come at a bigger time. He played phenomenally well down in Florida. The whole Bruins team did. I mean, a concerted effort to get into the crease, put the pressure on Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
But defensively for them, not letting the Panthers get easy, high-quality looks at Jeremy Swayman.
Right.
Sway played great. McAvoy played great. But that's what you want to see. And a response by a team where, for me, this is what impressed me. When that goalie interference isn't overturned, and we see that swing of that game, and everyone, including us, was saying that swings a series.
Bro.
If they came out and laid an egg in Florida, I wouldn't have blamed them.
Yeah.
They're doing everything they can to show up, and they're not given an equal opportunity on the ice. Bruins didn't care. And the bounce back by Jim Montgomery, which I give him credit to on this one, Trav. Before we start, obviously we want to look ahead to the game, but right after the game, post-game presser, he doesn't answer anything about the officials. And everyone's like, you want to see something from Monty. I want him to get fined. I want him to get suspended. For me, I was fine with that because he's not letting that moment become bigger to his team or his dressing room than it should be, where they could go, look at how pissed off our coach was. Yeah, that was BS. He moved on. The team moved on. And they came out and just outplayed the Panthers. It was a tight hockey game. That was a great playoff game. But the Bruins played phenomenally well. Jumped out with the shot advantage from the first period on. Beat them in hits. Kept it close in the face-off circle. And didn't have a lot of giveaways. To me, it was huge.
We knew there was a possibility they could come out flat in Florida and the series was over. But we also looked, as we often do on Boston Has Entered the Chat, at both sides of the coin. And the other side of the coin that we talked about was, hey, you got nothing to lose at this point. You know, just leave it all out on the ice, so to speak, to use a cliche. And they did that. The things you can control, hustling, right? Beating the Panthers to the puck, physicality, all those things were there last night, and that's why the Bruins were able to survive. You brought up McAvoy not having any shots in this series until last night.
Blew my mind.
So he has a goal. He has the assist. He took 6 shots on the goal. He was active. I look at ever since he got that shiner, George, I mean, it woke up the beast in this guy. And here he is. At the moment you need him the most, he comes through for you. And remember, the goal that he scored was on an unsuccessful challenge from the Panthers on the goalie interference. And you and I joked about it, but it's like if that held and that goalie interference was called there, Boston was going to riot. Mm-hmm. It was not going to be Boston has entered the chat. We were going to change the name for this show because it would have gone mad out here in these streets. Luckily, obviously the call was right, unlike the other game. We won't even go there the other night. But fans on Twitter, had their way with this goalie interference nonsense, and I loved it. George, I was here for it. Look at this. I see no problem here, GIF. I love this. The Situation Room in Toronto when deciding goalie interference calls. Honestly, at this point, you should have at whatever you want with these idiots looking at these reviews, but they at least got this one right, George.
That was, you see it in quick time, you're like, that might be goal interference. Danton Heinen getting into the crease, but he's out of there.
Yeah.
Bobrovsky resets.
Right.
Shot's not even out yet, and Heinen gets out of there, doesn't touch him.
Yes.
And everyone's going to go with, well, he got his stick smacked out of his hand. His own defenseman hit the stick out of his hand. Right. Or if it's Sergei Bobrovsky, as we've seen from past games, wouldn't be surprised if any little bit of content, he dropped a stick on his own to sell a flop.
Sure.
That's how he's been playing this series. It wasn't goal interference. That was the right overturn on the review. And to those morons in Toronto that I called out after the last game, good job, you idiots. You got it right.
Andrew Weiss tweeted a goalie interference call that went against the Panthers.
Didn't know that was possible.
Didn't know you were allowed to do that. The tweets just kept firing in. Is this just a makeup for the Bennett
That
goal?
is what it felt like.
That's what it felt like. But it was
the right call.
It also felt like the right call, right?
It wasn't goal interference. It was the right call. But you see that and you go, yeah, I guess they feel bad for Boston at a certain point. Maybe they didn't think it would swing the game like that. But deciding on the game-winning goal, that was huge.
Tweets, keep them fired up. Another blown review. Interesting there, huh?
Must be from Florida, I guess.
It must be.
One of the 5 Florida Panthers fans in the world.
I've never met one. P. Mason tweets, I swear these reviews are becoming worse than the NFL's pass interference reviews.
Everyone's going to have that. I'm assuming that's not a Bruins fan saying that one. It was a quick review,
Yeah.
They're probably a fan of another Original Six franchise or something, so they know hockey.
Ranger fan.
That's what our producer's telling us?
Ranger fan. Okay, fair enough.
Look,
they've been weighing in a lot on Bruins problems.
And you know what?
Mind your business, Ranger fans.
But it comes out. Let's also talk a little bit about Morgan Geekie. 25 years old.
Yeah.
His 3rd goal of the playoff. That's now a career high in a playoff postseason for him. 3 goals, 1 assist. He had a goal in Game 1 against the Panthers, Game 5, both wins, and a goal in Game 7.
Right.
He had the opening goal of the night to give him that 1-0 lead. And that was a great find by Jake DeBrusk to get him right in front of the net. A little dangle goes backhand by Sergei Bobrovsky. Just takes him out of his skates. Again, it's these guys, these depth players. Morgan Geekie stepping up. Charlie McAvoy having his best game of his series. Pavel Zacha, 12-6 in the playoff circle, in the faceoff circle, winning puck possession. The Bruins were plus 14 in hits on the ice. They came out. They played physical. They had so many high-danger chances. So actually, credit to Sergei Bobrovsky to a certain point. Pasternak on that breakaway, right in front of the net, doesn't get it. Jake DeBrusk came up short. And that's when the game gets tight. And I'm thinking, momentum swinging the Panthers' way.
Yep.
They had a 6-on-5 situation,
again, right?
pulling the goalie with 2.5 left.
Yep.
Even that last
look.
Cross ice. Who is it to? Reiner?
Yep.
And Jeremy Swayman just stumps him with just under 10 seconds left. I thought that was it. But there was a game-winning goal by Charlie McAvoy and a game-saving save by Jeremy Swayman. 28 saves tonight.
28 on 29 shots.
1.24 saves above expected.
This guy's unreal all playoffs long.
966
Even the one
percentage.
game he gave up more than 4 goals.
They
Remember
weren't
that?
helping him.
He
wasn't getting help from the guys
that's
in
right.
front of him.
That was an outlier.
Think about 38 saves game 1, 38 saves game 4. Comes out and plays like this to force a game 6.
All of the Maple Leaf series.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Right?
The best goaltender still in the playoffs right now. How's he thinking?
Uh-oh.
I mean, Swayman's the guy. He's the guy from this point on. But how's he thinking? Game 6, comes back home. Marchand's back. If he's back.
Yeah.
Can the Bruins push it to 7?
And
then in Game 7, as we saw last year,
sure.
anything happens.
Anything can happen. So, look.
Is there belief back in Boston?
Well, here's the deal. When they lost the last game, we talked about this.
It was dead. It was
And
gone.
we said.
Everyone was done.
And we said it was cliche to say, but it was true of. You are now forced to live the cliche of you got to take it one game at a time, right? You have to, because there's no wiggle room here. So, look, you win game 5, you force a game 6. You got to win game 6 to get to 7. So, as cliche as it is, that's exactly what has to happen here. The Bruins cannot, here, it's something you said that I actually keyed in on. When you were talking about how the refs fleeced the Bruins, right? Mm-hmm. In game 4, and Jim Montgomery post-game tried to stay locked in and just move on to game.
Didn't give a life, didn't talk on it.
So it moved on to game 5, right?
Yeah.
That is, it's so interesting because in the heat of the battle, in the emotion that was game 4 when all that happened, remember, even when they got fleeced by the refs, the Bruins still had the lead. But because you're so caught up in the moment, it was impossible. So I'm not blaming anyone here, but it was impossible.
Champions have to bounce back.
You do, but it was mission impossible to reset, lock back in, protect that lead, and win that game. Mm-hmm. They lost the momentum. They lost the moment. They were pissed off. It's human, right? Mm-hmm. And we know the rest of the story. Panthers were able to take advantage. Great teams do that. Now you put that behind you, but it clearly lit a fire. George, all series, we've been talking about the shot differential, the hit differential. Bro, Boston tonight, even though they had less, or last night, even though they had less shots than the Panthers, only one. Panthers 29 shots, Bruins 28 hits. Bro,
Plus
Bruins
14.
49. Yeah, Panthers 35. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, it clearly lit a fire under them. Yeah. And to your point, they were able to recalibrate, focus in on game 5. Now you have to do the same thing Friday night for game 6. Then we can have all the conversations about the game 7 and can you believe what's happening? Are they going to do this? Come back 3-1.
And to be fair, I went one game at a time. I said, can they push it to a game 7? I didn't say, can they complete the 3-1 comeback? Can they push it to game 7? Of course
they can.
And you point out the hits and everything.
Yeah.
Penalty kill was perfect tonight.
It was.
4 Panthers power plays, no power play goals from the Panthers. When your penalty kill wasn't doing good either in game 4. So they're finding the ways, and maybe it is. Monty goes to his presser, goes into his dressing room, speaks to the leadership and go, you think I'm going to cry about the refs and that blown call? They go into that F them all mentality. Toronto and the reviews aren't going to help you. The refs aren't going to help us. They're not going to fight Pat Maroon. They're not going to fight any of us. All right, if there's going to be no more fights, the refs aren't going to help you. F everyone. Go play. Go play tough. You bring the fight to the Panthers. And let's stop worrying about trying to drop gloves with Reiner, Bennett, Kachuk, whoever it may be. A Barkov, right? Let's just go out and play hockey. That's what they did tonight.
You know what's crazy?
It was clean. They were playing physical. Charlie Coyle's getting in there, but no fights. And they only worried about the hockey.
You know what's crazy?
What's up?
That's what happened to the Bruins last season. Remember? 3-1 lead. Panthers just, hey man, let's go. Let's do this. Let's play our style.
Pressure's on
let's
a
make them. That's right.
Side.
Let's make them play our style. Let's impose our will. They did that. Bruins could not recover.
No.
I mean, listen, crazier things have happened. Maybe we're seeing that. I mean, this is a city that knows all about the other side of a 3-1, right? Coming back from a 3-1 deficit. We've seen that in this city before. So this could be that situation. Obviously, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You want to focus on Friday night, get game 6 done. I will say this, though. My God, kudos to all of us who love the Bruins your whole life, because I'm new to this. And this team, I mean, honestly,
You ain't
George,
true to this?
my damn mental well-being, my emotional well-being, I'm in a glass case of emotion with this Bruins team. Loving this Bruins team is fun, but my God, it takes its toll on you emotionally. There's no doubt about that. I don't know how you lifelongers have done this. It is insane to me.
The lifelongers of our generation, they only got like 2011, and that's it, too. They have 13.
That's true.
I want to keep bringing them up.
It's stressful.
They
Are
have
we
eight-
getting 7? Come
They
on.
have 18.
Are we getting 7? We got 7 game 6. Can we get game 7? Can we get sold game 7?
But keep in mind, I mean, the one goal that the Panthers scored, you even see Paul Maurice laying into his team. And Sam Reiner, 10 seconds out of that TV timeout, rebound goal right on Hampus Lindholm, ties it at 1. This Panthers team has fight.
We got a game 6. Can we get a game 7?
I got to look at game 6. I can't make a game
Come
7
on,
call.
what do you mean?
But they have the goalie where you have confidence in them, especially coming back home. And how they played tonight. They played clean. They kept it on the ice. Almost clean. I mean, they had too many men on the ice.
Are
There's
we
6 in the
getting
postseason.
a game 7?
How do I not say yes? And that's what that's what you love about sports. And I'm going to ask Greg Poth, our director, to give me the ice. Real quick.
I saw.
This is what you love about sports. With the Bruins down 3-1, absolutely dead. Toronto in the league giving them the middle finger, not getting any calls, without their captain. Can't shoot the puck worth a lick.
Not a damn.
Just when you thought they were out, they pull me back.
Oh.
And that's what the Bruins did. That's what sports does, and that's why it's beautiful, and it's awesome. And Friday night, I'll get my heart torn out of my chest. And if I do, you know what I'm going to do next year?
Won't.
I'm going to lock back in and watch it all again. I'm going to do the same damn thing until I die. And that's what's beautiful about sports.
No, listen, the best 2 words in sports are game 7,
I hope we get
baby.
it.
Come on.
A game 7 in Florida. Flip the script completely. Pressure's there. Just when I thought I was out,
They pull me right back in. Listen, I think we're going 7. And listen, you said this to start the show.
They have the makeup and the style of play.
I know.
They figured it out.
And you also said this at the start of the show, and it's so true. In a game 7, regardless of who came back or what, it doesn't matter almost what happened in the games before that. Game 7 is the coin flip of all coin flips.
And what do the Bruins have in that coin flip, though?
Hot goalie.
The best goalie. That's it. Stop right there.
That's it, right?
They have the goalie they know will win them the game.
Yeah.
It comes down to, can you put pucks on net?
Right.
Get high-quality looks. Because their guy, now Bobrovsky made some big-time saves, had some stones.
Yeah.
But just wild as well.
He is. Here's the other thing, too. Listen, how many times have we said in this series, up until game 5, that it just looked and obviously the Bruins win in game 1, but it just looks like the Panthers are the better team. We've said that. And listen, it didn't look that way in game 5. Now, obviously, it was a tight game. Could have gone either way. We just read you all the numbers between hits and shots and everything.
28 shots in this game.
Right. But, it certainly didn't feel like the Panthers were the better team and the Bruins caught the right breaks, right? Things just went right for the Bruins. No. It did not feel like it felt like a damn even, as you said, a great playoff hockey game. Bruins were able to get it done. If we get that for game 6 and potentially a game 7, it is anybody's series.
This felt like a game. It should have been like 5-1 Bruins at one point.
Yeah.
With the breakaway chances they had, they just couldn't cash them in.
Bob played well.
DeBrusk rushing a shot, Pasta waiting too long and not getting it past. Bob played good.
He played well.
But it's the Bruins clicking, and the pressure flips.
That's right.
Because now you have to go to Boston. Do or die. The Panthers have to win a game 6. You don't want this going 7 if you're the Panthers.
Hell no.
But the pressure's on them. But Paul Maurice's team, we saw game 1 and game 2, they come out correct. So that's the thing, too. This is great coaching, physical play. And a night like tonight's fun when it's great hockey, We're not talking about fights. We're not talking about officials. We're not talking about bad calls.
Right.
It was just great hockey end to end. No matter how that game ended, it got tight, man. The last 2.5 minutes.
George.
Pull the goalie, 6 skaters on the ice for the Panthers, getting a lot of good looks, but great clearing, great job icing by the Bees.
Brother.
That last one with 10 seconds left right into Sway's chest. It got close, man.
I don't even smoke cigarettes. I need a Newport after that damn game.
It's nice. Me? There's you have really good meals in life where you're like, I need a cigarette after that. And then you have those games you're like, I need a bogey. I need to go outside and rip a dart.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. If this goes 7 games,
we're smoking 6.
I mean, I'm going to lose all my hair.
I'll have a pack of Marlboro Reds right for us in the state.
Please do. 617-790-0928. Hit us up on that hotline, Bling. We want to hear from you, and send us your tweets as well. All right, let's pivot.
Cigars or no? Just cigs for you?
So listen, real quick. I love cigars, right?
Me too.
But the last time I had a cigar, I think I maybe had a little too much to drink.
Ah, there we go. Empty
stomach
too?
A little bit inebriated.
You gotta eat before a cigar.
I definitely inhaled, and you know the end of that story. It didn't end well.
My last few times having a cigar, especially I had it when I was back home in Jersey, it was nice. But you just get in, hair smells.
Yeah,
everything smells. You wake up the next morning, you still taste. I went mouthwash twice. Too.
Yeah, no.
So we'll stick to cigs.
You'll stick to cigs? I've never seen you with a cigarette once in life, and I've known you for a while now. But listen, if this goes 7, I'm smoking a whole box. 617-790-0928, and also tweet us. All right, let's pivot to the Celtics. Hopefully not as stressful tonight, and they end the Cavs here. So let's play a little game of buy or sell. Mm-hmm. I'll throw you some questions. You tell me if you're buying or you're selling. Here we go. Jason Tatum to record 30-plus points for a 3rd straight game. You got to buy this, don't you?
He found his shot. Found his way to attack this defense. He stayed aggressive. And what I like is that he got confidence in the 4th quarter in that last win. No Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
They took him light. They did the Celtics BS, but him and Jaylen Brown didn't mess around. I'll buy this one.
Me too.
He's the guy that's driving the ship. Derek White's falling off. Tatum's taking more shots, taking more ownership of this offense. And Jaylen Brown is still getting his. Now, if it was to flip and JB goes 30-plus, Tatum falls, at 27, 28. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, you live with
that. But
that.
I wouldn't sell on this because Tatum is going.
Yeah.
It's a closeout game for the Celtics.
Completely agree. Listen, I'll take it a step further. I think what happened, this is just my theory. All these guys listen to all this stuff. They tell you every time, we don't listen to the media. We don't care what you say.
Missoula
we don't hear what fans say. Missoula, they all listen. And I think what happened is Jason Tatum got sick and tired of being sick and tired of us and others being like, bro, what is going on? I understand you're playing the Heat and no one needs you to do much here, but you are the guy, so look like it. And I think he got tired of it. And I think, by the way, those last few games that he has played have been on the road. That's tough to do. So this guy's putting up video game numbers. I don't see that going away. I think the beast is awake now from here on out. Championship or not, I think rest of the playoffs, we're going to see this assertive, aggressive Jason Tatum. He means business. All right, how about this? Buy or sell. Jaylen Brown will be the game's leading scorer. You just mentioned that this is a possibility.
Yeah,
Are you buying or selling?
I'll sell, though, because I think if Tatum gets 30-plus.
Right.
And I think they just boat race the Cavs at this point. Donovan Mitchell, no Donovan Mitchell. I think if that happens, that I'm going to sell JB being the leading scorer. And I'm going to buy that falls on Jason Tatum in this one.
I would agree for everything you said. It's obviously not that Jaylen Brown is not capable. We understand that he is. But we also both believe that it's Jason Tatum's time right now. Mm-hmm. That's why even when you said Derek White is kind of falling off, I don't necessarily think that. I just think he's back in a role that he should be in.
His shot's not there as it once was, though. Bad from 3 for Derek White.
But I just mean in terms of Tatum, Brown,
usage.
Go do what you do, right? Yeah. And then everyone else kind of plays their role. But Jaylen Brown, to a certain extent, even though he is a star, his role is when Jason Tatum is cooking, just have his support, have his back. When he needs to take a break or he's tired and he's starting to be passive after scoring a bunch of points, go take over. You go be aggressive. You go get yours. They've been doing that lately, these games in Cleveland. I'm just hoping that it continues here. So I'll go sell as well, but just because we think Tatum is going to be the go-to man tonight. All right, how about this one? Buy or sell? This is funny. Jaylen Brown will get payback and slap Jason Tatum. What did the 5 fingers say to your chest? Slap. Look at this. Will he get him back? Do we get some get back here? Will Jason Tatum say, now that you mention it, Jaylen, I think I'm bleeding inside my chest. Does he slap the hell out of his chest tonight?
He does. I think JB. And it's because they're boys. I think that's the best part. Jaylen Brown said after the game, too, he's like, I'm yelling at the ref to get the F out of my way. The ref was on the court messing up his spacing. He wanted to set up for the shot. Next thing you know, it's just boom,
slap.
5-finger palm right to the chest. I think he gets Jason Tatum back. Because you know JT's going to hit a big shot in a big moment.
Bro.
And JB's probably going to come up. Or, you know what? This is what we'll get. We'll get JB, go upsize him, and pump fake him. Just give him a little tap. Just to get the 2 for flinching. You know what I mean?
Bro, you ever been hitting your chest so hard the air leaves your lungs?
It's called getting 5-star. Oh, my God. Bringing like elementary school days back. But like it's getting 5-starred on the back out of nowhere. You know, middle school too.
I never had that. I had it in a game happen, a football game once. I got hit so damn hard in my chest. Because our stupid offense we ran like old school wishbone style. I was a wide receiver of all things. We didn't throw a
That says a lot about your hands.
Well, it was the offense. I had good hands. We didn't throw.
Yeah.
We throw in the red zone, but like all we did was block. And I tried to block this big joker one time. This big linebacker hit me in my chest. All the air went out of my body. I thought I was gone. I thought I would not be able to make Boston Has Entered the Chat. 18-year-old me knew. I said, if I can live today.
Laying down on the grass, looking up to that Virginia sky.
I said, God, if you just give me an opportunity to live, I could host Boston Has Entered the Chat years from now. And he put breath back in my lungs.
Second chance.
Yeah, he did. He gave me my second chance. I'll buy it as well. Payback's coming. Although he may not do it in the game. It could be behind the scenes.
No, you do that. That's messed up if you do it behind the scenes.
Well, how's that messed up?
Because
when he does the wet
they're
towel,
adults, like,
the wet towel, yeah. When he gets the towel wet, you hit him with the yap.
All right, that's fine.
What
but
if
he just comes up and rips him in the chest, like you're in I'd be like, dude, we're adults. What the hell is this? Like on the court, it's fine. There's something weird. I don't know what it is. But there is a force field lifted when you're on the court, on a field, whatever, messing with your boys. It's okay to mess with people.
You can't do it in the parking lot.
You're at work. Yeah, it's just like it's what you're wearing. Yeah, exactly. Like, man, I'm in my roll-up fit, which will probably look ridiculous for JB. But you don't do that on the floor. That's fine.
Look,
Tatum will just be chilling with Deuce in the locker room.
You can't do it in front of Deuce. Yeah, you can't do it in front of Deuce.
Oh, they'll do it in front of Deuce.
You can't do it in front of Deuce. Hey, listen, when Jaylen Brown said the get back was coming, he was dead serious. So
Maybe
we know it's
calculated. Eastern Conference Finals get back.
Oh.
He's saving that in Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
JB hits a big shot. Boom.
Yeah.
Celtics go up over the Knicks, who are 3 deep at that point. Jalen Brunson's in a wheelchair from Tibbs minutes. Celtics up 35 in Game 4, about to complete the sweep. And then JB, when Jason Tatum's high and mighty, trips him.
All right, last one. Buy or sell. With or without Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs season ends tonight.
I'm buying that.
Buy. It's over. It's over.
The Celtics are in a different league. We knew the Cavs would steal one game. Now, if it's like what we saw in Game 2, where Cavaliers are 43, 45% plus from 3, and we see the Celtics get dropped into the 20s, the three-point shooting,
man, who's shooting them damn threes?
Then it'll go 6. Everyone's shooting it, man. 42 plus attempts. But if that happens, Cavs win. If it doesn't, they just don't have the shooters to keep up. And you saw how close they kept it, but still, they just don't have the depth in scoring to keep up. You've been saying it.
Yeah.
They don't got the horses.
They don't.
And it's not you don't have the horses. You need stallions. You need thoroughbreds to keep up with the Celtics, and they don't got them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's the thing. This is what drives us nuts about the Celtics, right? Is even let's take the last game, for example. They won, but it was ugly. No Donovan Mitchell. It was low scoring, defensive, intense, closer than everyone thought it should be, especially with no Donovan Mitchell. A win is a win. We get it. But it there was certainly no style points. It wasn't pretty. This is why the Celtics will drive you nuts, because I believe tonight will be. I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Cavs and end the series. And by the way, you bring up the Knicks being a mash unit at this point. If you look around the league, all of these series right now feel like they're going to be extended series, right? Except this one. The Celtics need to get rid of the Cavs, get a little more extra rest for your current players, and then obviously we know who we're waiting on to come back in Kristaps Porzingis. So if you can get, and I'm talking West too, brother. I mean, if you can get these series to extend longer, and these teams get a little more banged up, play a little more basketball, take a little more tread off that tire, advantage Celtics, just like it has been all playoffs long. Every time you look up, a star player's hurt. They're catching a break here. They're catching a break there. This is another example of that. You put the Cavs away tonight. You have the other series.
You rest up.
You rest up.
Well,
you have
the Knicks and the
other series
Pacers drag it out.
That's what I'm saying.
You got T-Wolves and Nuggets.
That's what I'm
apiece.
saying.
You have the Thunder bringing it back and responding against the Mavs.
See what I mean?
You get a really bad Heat team that never had Jimmy Butler. They won one game on an anomaly shooting night in that series. You get a Cavs team that came into the series, no Jared Allen. Loses Donovan Mitchell. We'll see if he's back for Game 5, right? You get the Knicks, OG Anunoby dealing with a hamstring, Mitchell Robinson, Dunzo, Bogdanovich, Dunzo. Who else are they missing? Pretty much everyone. Jalen Brunson playing on one foot.
He's playing,
not
he's
looking
hobbled.
great.
That's right.
Josh Hart, like gas tank less than empty.
Oh my God, he's got 20 miles left tops.
It's all coming up, Celtics. And it's all coming up where you don't have to rush KP back and you get him in the finals. We'll see what Porzingis
and you're getting extra
you get.
rest, right? Conceivably.
That's where I get anxious every time, though. I hear Kristaps Porzingis.
You don't believe. You never
I don't believe in it.
You've never believed.
I don't believe in him. I don't believe in it. You know me, man.
I know.
Since that trade went down, I was like, let's just wait for the finals. We did like mid-season grades. You gave him an A. I said, I'm giving him an A, but 90% of my class is determined on the final exam.
I get it.
And it's if Kristaps Porzingis is there.
Yeah.
I'm just a skeptic and a pessimist.
No, I get it. And you know what? No, to use your analogy, there's no excuses left on this exam. The dog has already eaten your homework. You already missed the bus.
Yeah.
You already overslept. You've used every G-damn excuse in the book already. So now, final exam time, what you going to do? This is it.
OKC's too young. T-Wolves unproven.
Right.
Mavericks, Doncic is banged up.
Yeah.
One bad knee.
Nuggets are scary, but they don't look the same.
Murray's banged up. Reggie Jackson's banged up.
They don't look as dominant.
And they're
as
riding
last
a hot Aaron Gordon right now. That's not going to pull through.
Right.
And they don't look as dominant.
That's right.
Celtics, and it was since they got Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday, but now more than ever, you see how it's shaking out. The NBA Finals is all about who's healthy.
That's right.
If 0 and 7 are healthy, Celtics are going to be fine. Celtics championship to lose right now. That's what it is.
Facts. But you know what? It's always been that this season.
Getting anxious, bro.
Yeah, and hey, getting closer. No excuses this time around. All right, let's stick with hoops, but go to the WNBA. Caitlin Clark made her WNBA debut last night against the Connecticut Sun. Caitlin, hold that L. 92-71. Sun win. They were physical.
Yes.
With Caitlin Clark, particularly, George, look, from what I saw in that first half, she was just getting pushed and shoved around like nobody's business. Every time she touched the ball, there was physicality, there was double teams. She got no open looks, nothing was easy, and she struggled big time. She had a ton of turnovers in the game, but particularly in that first half, there was just tough sledding for her. But towards the end of it, she hit a couple shots. My theory, I saw her hit the ground hard. And she got up. She laid down for a little bit. And everyone was like, oh, she hurt. She got up.
WNBA clenching their wallet.
Yeah,
no. The ratings.
Facts. She got up. She kind of got herself together. She started hitting some shots. Yeah. I said, sometimes in sports, a physical hit or play or something dirty can kind of wake you up. And in her case, she got slammed to the ground, got back up, kind of woke her up, but then it was halftime. Second half, I wanted to see how she came out. She played much better in the second half. Now, in the end, obviously 20 points, 10 turnovers. Her team lost. You certainly wouldn't call it some great debut. She didn't go out there and drop 30. But in totality, with what she had to overcome in that first half with the physicality, getting pushed and shoved around, and then ending the way she did, I thought it was actually an impressive debut. You got to cut down on the turnovers, but we all believe she'll do that.
Hey, led the team in minutes with 32.
Yeah.
Regular season comes on. This ain't the preseason anymore. It's a different type of physical game. And you have teams that are all out game planning around how to stop her. A lot of forcing her right, coming off the screen, met with a double team right away. Talk about the turnovers, too. I mean, Caitlin Clark, at her size, this is a big physical Connecticut Sun team. DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, DeJounte Carrington.
They were getting at her.
Brianna Jones. Oh, yeah. They had no problem putting the size on her, double teaming her and playing physical. 20 points and 10 turnovers is what kills me. 5 for 15 from the floor. No rebounds, but that's just what they're doing with her. But she was doing a good job early. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, with someone as talented as her, you're wondering, what do they do when they make their debut at like the next level?
Yeah.
And Caitlin Clark was putting up threes. Normally you'd see her make, bricking a few early, easy looks, right? Finally got her first bucket, driving to the cup, right scoop on the fast break. Again, goes and attacks right around the rim, gets another bucket. So for her, it was a matter of finding her shot. And we've seen it in her Iowa days. Like, her starting games terribly. And to see her taking out on herself, the frustration she has, the high standard she has, her competitive level. So it's a WNBA debut. And we say this with Caitlin Clark. The Connecticut Sun are a top 3 team in this league. Stacked with experience. Stacked with good athletes.
Yes.
Very good players.
Yeah.
Like the 4 I just named, right?
Yep.
So credit to Caitlin Clark dropping 20 and 10. Well, 10. Excuse me, turnovers. Dropping 20 points in her debut.
Yeah.
That's a Connecticut Sun. This is the WNBA.
It's a real contender.
It's a grown woman's league.
Yeah.
And this is what everyone is saying, too. How is she going to do? The talk, of course, can she win Rookie of the Year and MVP? That hasn't been done since Candace Parker in 2008. And there's a reason Candace Parker was the only one to do that, right?
Well,
it's only happened once.
She's a GOAT.
Exactly. Caitlin Clark can be a GOAT, too.
She can.
No matter what, though, but the win here, as it is, what she did with the national championship, over 18 million viewers. The WNBA draft, 2.5 million viewers.
That's crazy.
That's a 300% increase from what they had in their last high when the viewership numbers come out. The Mohegan Sun sold out on a Tuesday night with the Bruins playing a playoff game, PWHL Boston playing a playoff game, Red Sox playing, NBA going on, and the Mohegan Sun sold out. And you know, TVs across New England, especially because they get the Sun, but this game on ESPN too. TVs everywhere going NBA, NHL. If you got a third screen, WNBA. People tuning in. It was still the talk, the lead up, everything coming up. So, Caitlin Clark, when we see the viewership come out and what she'll do, catch your licks, get better, cut down the turnovers, find her shot.
Yeah.
And again, so much basketball is being played. She just came off a run to a national championship, not a long break, literally a month. And then, boom, you're in the WNBA.
Not just butts and seats, not just ratings, straight cash, homie. They upsold these tickets, and they got it. I mean, the next home game is nowhere near price compared to this game.
It was Celtics prices.
That's right.
Boston Celtics prices.
And they got it. They sold out. So there you go.
Well, and this is what we saw from the moment Caitlin Clark joined this team, too.
Yeah.
The comments about her, like, yeah, we'll have increased security at the airport because WNBA teams fly commercial, and they have been, if you don't know.
Right.
And the reason is because even the Liberty's owner, the guy that owns Alibaba, got in trouble because he was chartering his team, but it's technically illegal in the WNBA because not all the teams can afford to do that. So in an equity move, they do that.
Yep.
But Caitlin Clark comes in. Guess how they got Indiana to Connecticut? Chartered flight, private flight.
Damn right.
Partying on it. But, and credit to Breanna Stewart pointing this out, because her team, they traveled actually cross country or midway through the country for their season opener as well. They were on a bus. So it's still, there's waiting for the equity to happen across the league. But it's great to see the WNBA and those athletes, again, like, there's a reason you're flying commercial compared to flying charter, having your own plane. It helps with recovery. It helps, obviously, with logistics to get there. The fanfare through an airport for someone as big as Caitlin Clark, she's already having the impact on the WNBA. So A lot of people are going to look at the box score, 20 points, 10 turnovers.
That doesn't tell the whole story, you know?
But Caitlin Clark, she's making an effect on the WNBA.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop there. She's too talented.
WNBA record for the most turnovers in a debut of 10. She's definitely going to clean that up. We know that. All right, so look, NFL schedule release, your favorite time of the year.
I like looking at the schedule. You just don't need to make it appointment television. Just put it out. Have the team put out a cool social clip. That's what I want.
If you're looking to have a picnic or a parade and you're looking for some storm clouds, just call George Balekji.
No.
He will come and gladly. 617-790-0928. Just call him. Tell him to come on.
Just imagine,
I need some clouds and some rain.
Imagine young son Colt comes to you. Dad, I want to go have a catch outside. And you're going to look him in the eye and go, I can't, son. Because the NFL is going to debut its schedule and drag it out for 2 hours on TV starting at 8 p.m.
Listen, my son already knows that catch ain't happening. He sees the schedule release. He's sitting down right next to me and watching. Now, we'll talk about that ad nauseum in Boston has entered the chat, of course, as we get the schedule. But I want to talk to you about this. The NFL did tweet out, check this out, the league's strength of schedule for every team. So this is obviously based on, opponents' win percentage last season. And looky, the Patriots are tied for the seventh hardest strength of schedule. I actually went straight to the bottom of the list because there are some teams that I am betting on, my friend, on win totals, some of these to make the playoffs. Look at the Falcons there at the bottom. You think Kirk Cousins, who only wins regular season games and doesn't win games that matters in the playoffs, isn't going to do great with this weak-ass schedule? Of course he is. How about the Bears? I believe in Caleb Williams. I think that's going to be a playoff team. How about Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers having an easy schedule? That jumped out to me. How about the Dolphins having an easier schedule? I think they're going to win the AFC East. The Cardinals had a great draft. Kyler Murray's back healthy. Marvin Harrison Jr., keep your eye on them. And then I like the Colts there at the top of the list as well, getting their young phenom quarterback back. So those are the teams I kind of keyed in on. The Patriots, man, we know you're rebuilding this offense. It is a complete HGTV gut job for the offense. So my expectations are much lower anyways with their hard schedule. But those teams at the bottom are who I keyed in on with easy schedules.
I don't put too much in the strength of schedule either, though, because it's all on the winning percentage from the season before.
From last year, right.
And the Cowboys went 12-5. What led their offseason this year, this past offseason, is signing their long snapper to an extension. And the Packers went 9-8. But the last 8 games of the season, they had an MVP in Jordan Love, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception, one of the best offenses. So a team that was 12-5 isn't really that good.
Sure.
And a team that went 9-8 is a lot better than that. We know who the home opponents are for the Pats. Outside of the division, guys, Chargers, Colts, Texans, Seahawks, Rams. Away, division games, Jaguars, Cardinals, 49ers, Titans, Bengals, Bears. That's what sticks out to me. And even think about it, Bengals went 9-8. They're going to have Joe Burrow back. Right, but lost our offensive coordinator. Titans went 6-11. Now have Brian Callahan as their head coach. 3 good receivers, revamped O-line. Will Levis given full reign. Jets went 7-10. They have Aaron Rodgers, top 3 defense. So that's why with all the strength of schedule stuff, it's cool. I get it. I understand why people look at it. But for me, it's how faulty they can be. The Colts went 9-8. They didn't have AR-15.
That's right.
So that's where I look at who are they playing, home, away. And again, this is I'm just looking for when the bye week is, and this is why I don't care about the schedule debut. I'm not going to curse right now.
It's a family program.
NFL, F you, man. Get over yourselves in your ego. You have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas Eve,
right.
You have the Tuesday after MLK Day.
What more do you want?
They literally have everything. They have Saturdays when college football's ramping up.
NFL, you're causing a lot of divorces. What are we doing? It used to be, George, I could say, hey, listen, on this day, and this night, and this day, we could do this. Now, I can't. There's a game. There's a game. You know what my go-to is anytime there's complaints about me watching so much sports? Well, you should have married an accountant because this is my job. This is what I have to do. That doesn't fly over very well.
That's what's been happening to me. But like, we'll be out with my girlfriend's friends, and like, B's game will be on, right? And someone else's boyfriend or fiance or husband gets yelled at for watching the game. Like, we're at dinner, like George is watching, and so and so be like, well, that's his job.
It's my job.
And I just whisper, I go, I don't need to watch this. I can't tell them that.
You have to do it for Boston has entered the chat. You also have to do it for Foxborough Rush. We host that wonderful program as well for all things Patriots, all things NFL. Full episode on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. In fact, for all the best content of the day, make sure you follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Travis Thomas, George Balekji. Boston has entered the chat until we enter it again next time. Peace.
Later.